This is your
I'm not a realtor, so.
Well, coffee with the
kid that doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah,
and the
perfect.
realtor.
Yeah, perfect.
So what would you teach a kid that doesn't know what he's doing?
Is this on right now?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Oh, I think real estate is like any business involved in sales, and it's how you present yourself, how you present your product, how you represent the company you work for, how honest you are, how direct you are, how informative you are. Those are the things that people look for when they're looking for a salesperson of any product, be it a house, be it a car, be it whatever. So that's what I'd say. Be yourself, be honest, be direct.
Being informative.
Be informative is probably the most important.
How do you maneuver being informative sometimes with things that may not be helpful towards your cause? Like being informative about the negatives of the property as well as the positives.
That's important, and I always try to bring those up right at the beginning. As anybody should in sales. So you want the people to make the decision, and for them to make the proper decision, they have to know the pluses and the minuses. Minuses could be, hey, you realize interest rates are skyrocketing. With it. A couple of years ago, they were 2%, and now 6.5%. Right. To know that, hey, they're going to be building a what do they call those things? Amazon's building all over the place.
Oh, the AI data centers, maybe,
a data
or
center,
warehouse.
right. Down the block in a little while. All kinds of things. There's going to be. There's negatives about every location, every product, and it's as important to bring those up along with the positives of it.
Okay, yeah. Speaking of data centers, how do you feel about like AI? Have you used any of it?
Using it probably more from a casual way. Although our company is updating their systems where to use it as an AI as an assistant. Hi, text so-and-so, email so-and-so. It'll remind me when this has to be done or that has to be done. Right now, I think we've all been using it like probably everybody, how to format a letter, how to stay in touch with your customers, how to sound a little more positive and giving people news, but both good and bad news. So I think, it's going beyond that right now. It's somewhat hard in general, especially on Cape Cod where we are, where it's an older population. Yeah. It's a second home population. People here and most of the real estate people here are older.
Right.
So you don't have a lot of people your age coming into the business. It's mostly people that have either retired and come down here and started a second career. They're not as up on a lot of the new items. They have a hard time still using an iPhone. Right. A lot of people. I was probably the same way. So just trying to learn that within your aging process can be difficult for a lot of people.
Yeah. Do you think being an agent has helped you with that process, being around other people that also use the technology and kind of forces you into it to adapt?
You can't miss that it's out there.
Right.
It's everywhere. It's every time you turn your computer on, everybody you talk to, everything you see on whatever. Mm-hmm. People, they're slowly letting us know it's as well as people for a long time, people didn't even know what streaming was on TVs. And now people are kind of cutting the cord and, watching TV via streaming on apps as opposed to cable companies. So it takes a while, but you learn it from other people. And there's different people, it seems every big real estate company down here will have some younger people that are running that department or that division of it. And they're, if you listen to them and they're informative. Some people stay away from it. They don't want to know. They're just happy. Look, I'll sell my 2-3 homes a year and I'm happy. I don't really need the money. I just like to go to the luncheons. There's those kind of people. But, to be successful, and if it's a full-time career, full-time job, you have to be aware of it.
So the brokerage that you work for, William Ravis, right?
Right.
That's how you pronounce that, right? Ravis?
Yep.
Do they have you said they supply like a department that helps you guys
they have an
learn?
IT department, yep.
Do they do a good job?
I think like most companies, the main office is in Connecticut. Okay, so
fairly close to here, not like crazy far.
Not far. Maybe 3-hour drive, something like that, if you had to drive it. And they have an IT department. The trouble is, as things evolve and it's becoming these new systems come on, there's just not enough people to support it.
Right.
You used to be able to pick up the phone. Somebody in the IT would answer it. You say, hey, by the way, I'm having trouble with such and such. Now, you leave a message, you fill out an an email.
Yeah.
They get back to you. You're not there when they get back to you. You know, so it can be a little more challenging that way. And I think they're trying to keep up with it and, you know, get caught up to it.
Okay.
But, you know, the demand is definitely there, and they're trying to fill, I think, the need for those people.
So you just came back to William Ravis from another brokerage, correct?
I was with William Ravis for probably about 9 years. Then I left and went to Sotheby's for a while, and then came for 3 years, then came back here.
Have you found, in your experience between the two companies, that William Ravis has done a better job in certain things than Sotheby's, or did Sotheby's do a better job than William Ravis in other things?
Both.
What's the difference?
I think
between
Sotheby's
both
does
companies?
probably a better job because it's been around, not from a real estate standpoint, but from an auction standpoint.
Okay.
The name Sotheby's just represented a higher end of whatever was being sold at an auction for, you know, hundreds a year, or many years. I don't know if it's hundreds. But so you always had that, and that was kind of a good way to market the company as a whole. Ravis does a better job of marketing within the district itself, the neighborhood. You know, Sotheby's is more worried about international marketing or national marketing, where Ravis has a better presence within the local markets.
Okay.
And that's kind of what I like. Plus, I think their employees were more helpful, more, you know, guiding, more, you know, there was more someone to talk with, to discuss about different opportunities. You were pretty much on your own at Sotheby's. You know, you had the national marketing, but after that you were kind of by yourself, you know, out there.
Yeah, you say by yourself as a client, or by yourself as a...
No, as an agent.
As an agent. Okay,
As
so
an
it wasn't, you couldn't go bounce ideas off folks in the office.
They didn't have that office camaraderie. They didn't have that interaction in there. The office itself, the physical office, was really just a stop in and stop off, check your mail thing.
Yeah.
Where Ravis, there's agents there all day long at their desks to talk about, you know, it's a little more, you know.
So I take it that culture is important to you,
Very,
being around
I think it's
others.
very important.
Yeah.
You know, you have a house you're listed for, you know, beyond what the average marketing time might be of something. And you know, hey, look, I tried this, I tried that, and there's always someone that says, well, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Have you talked to them about this? Or look at the stats, and, you know, have you noticed that such and such? You know, and it makes you think about it maybe from a different standpoint.
Okay. I know you mentioned that Sotheby's was more international. Or are they more international or national?
No, they advertise internationally, and then nationally. You know, both.
Okay.
But you know, they're pressing the brand, the brand. Not so much the office.
Okay.
You know, here. So.
Did you ever represent anybody from out of country or sell a house?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
What's
Well, I shouldn't say that. Well, one person probably about 6 months ago that was moving here from France. You know, their job, they moved him here. They wanted to be in this such and such neighborhood. And I ended up with them. You know, I had the listing for that house he wanted, but not I had never got involved with relocations or, you know, international people. You know, what some of the Sotheby's do, they're taking, you know, videos of homes and they're sending them to, you know, Qatar or wherever, and for people coming over here, you know.
How do you think they landed, the person from France? How do you think they landed on Cape Cod?
Job. Was a job.
Oh, okay. So their job was relocating them to Cape Cod.
Yeah, well, outside of Boston, like on the South Shore.
Oh, okay.
And had young kids, didn't want to be in the busy area, so they wanted to be in more of a beach community.
Yeah.
You know, for the family that was home while he was traveling a lot and that. So I think they felt a lot of people on the Upper Cape, this part of the Cape, which is still commutable, and there's a lot of public transportation to Boston. So, you know, you'll find people with families here like doing that. So, you know.
How does you said beach community, how does the beach community in Cape Cod compare to, say, a beach community in my perspective? Down in Florida, we don't have winter. So, you know, a beach community is beachy all year.
But it is. You know, I mean, I've talked to friends that have gone down there, and they'll say, you know, in January, February, it's in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah,
to you, that's winter.
To you, that is
and those
true.
people
That's
aren't
true.
on the beach. You know, they don't
fair.
go to the beach then. So, I mean, I think it's somewhat pretty much the same. I mean, so here we ice skate while you know, run around in a sweater, you know, but you know, I mean, I've heard people say it's freezing down there. I remember I used to work for, you know, a retailer, and it had stores in Florida. you know, they were the best sellers of heavy shirts,
Yeah.
you know, lightweight jacket. That was their winter apparel,
Right.
sweaters. You know, that's where, you know, you wouldn't think of, but that's where it went to when it gets cold down there. You know,
Everyone down there has to buy it because
yeah,
they don't have it.
yeah. And you're in the middle of Florida, so it's probably even more pronounced there.
Yeah, well, right where all the tourists are and
Right,
everything. So
right.
what we'll see a lot is while I'm running around in a hoodie or a sweater, pants.
Right. They're in shorts and t-shirts.
Yeah, my cousins come down and they're swimming in the pool and it's 50 degrees outside. And I'm like, you're crazy. And they're like, why are you cold?
Right. Yeah, no, exactly. And your body does, react to that and, and adjust to that. So, definitely.
I always thought they were crazy until I went to school in Vermont.
Right.
And then I came back for spring break and I'm like outside without a shirt on and everybody else has their long sleeves.
We all saw that video.
Yeah, which one? There's too many of them, right?
Oh, without the shirts, running this, that, fighting alligators.
For those of you that don't know watching, he is my biggest fan, so...
Watch his videos. Watch all his videos.
You got to start posting too. We got to get you out there.
I need people like you, my grandkids,
That's
like
what we can do.
that we can start doing that.
Yeah.
Now.
Well, we'll clip this up and post it on social media. Maybe this interaction right here, this
will be the beginning?
clip, this will be the beginning.
We've been in the movies.
This is the beginning.
Thank you, Coop.
We're in business.
It's great to have you up here. And Coop's the type guy that whatever he does, he's going to be successful at because he's got that right disposition, the right mannerisms, and the right brain.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just realized we haven't introduced you, right? For those of you that don't know, Alan, would you like to go over a brief summary of who you are?
Alan Porretti, live here in Falmouth, Massachusetts. Been here for 26 years, which is Cape Cod. So this is probably my third career. I started from when I first got out of school from the Army to retailing to sales of sporting goods equipment to now to real estate 25 years ago and love them all equally.
How did you make the jump from sporting goods sales to real estate?
Company went out of business.
Oh, the easy choice then.
Company went out of business. It was about the same time we moved down here.
Okay.
So we had just moved down here. I was working for Wilson Sporting Goods.
Okay.
And my division that did all their apparel closed. They were taking it back, and it's a Dutch company. I believe it's a Dutch company, and they were taking it back in-house, so they weren't using us anymore to manufacture the clothing. So did a new area, didn't know it well. Thought real estate would be a good way to learn the area, meet the people,
right?
And it's a sales job, so started doing it.
So with the sporting goods, Williams, you said it was Wilson. You weren't selling enough, or what?
No, we were, but the division my division was a franchise division of it.
Oh,
and so
okay, I see.
So at some point it was up beyond me.
Right.
My main office was in New York, and I think what they wanted for the next contract, my guy wasn't willing to pay. So
that makes sense.
We lost the ability.
Okay, fair enough. Well, it's led to good things, obviously. So God has a plan.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So when you first got into real estate, surely it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows right off the bat.
You got to learn. I mean, luckily, and for most, and still to this day, I mean, getting a real estate license is fairly inexpensive and fairly easy to do. It's X amount of hours, and usually when the license comes available, real estate companies in the area will always send an invitation to speak to them.
Yeah.
I spoke to a lot of bigger companies, and the one company I started with was the one that didn't solicit me. I figured, well, why aren't you asking for me? Everybody else is. Ended up going to that company.
Okay.
Called them up, then went to that company. And then you find ways to get into the business. I found the best way was to volunteer to do open houses of different people. They always used to like to do open houses of different price points. Again, 20 years ago, a $300,000 home was the average price here on the Cape. Now it's $800,000. But, so you'd like to go to a $300,000 one, $500,000 one, $1 million one. And when you get there and people that didn't like that house, it was always interesting, well, geez, if you don't like this, what are you looking for? Let me help you. And it was a good way to meet people at all different price points to get into it. And that's how it really kind of started, build your clientele from that.
Always looking to help.
Yeah.
I've found
what don't you like about this?
Right.
Well, let me try to find a house that has what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And then you go back and spend it on the computer. Luckily, computers were in then. All the agents back then told me, 10 years ago, you were looking at paper. You weren't looking at computers. So that made it a little easier. And I was used to computers. So
what year was that you got started?
25 years ago.
25, so
2002, I think it was exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
the end of 2002. Right about the time we moved here permanently.
Okay, so the transition was fairly smooth then.
Smooth, easy.
Yeah. Was there anybody within the, was it a brokerage or agency?
A brokerage, yeah.
Was there anyone within the brokerage, like not clients-wise that you looked to help, but folks that helped you get in
definitely.
easy?
Yep.
Was there anyone specifically that comes to mind?
Back then, now they're all like brand name.
Sure.
It's Rabus, it's Sotheby's, it's Compass, it's Kindling Grover, it's Berkshire Hathaway. They're all big. Back 25 years ago, that didn't exist. They were all local independent family brands.
Okay.
And so I went to work for a company called Real Estate Associates, which was a merger of 3 women that started like a local business. And in fact, for a while, I was the only guy working there out of maybe 40 agents. But it was fun, and you always found some that, like the grandmother type that wanted to help, like you probably get all the time. I was the young kid. I was younger.
Yeah.
You're younger, and there was always someone who wanted to be like helpful, and there were also people that needed help. So you could kind of, be their, go-to person for a while. Could you help me put the signs up? Alan, could you do this open house for me? Alan, could you go do the showing for me? Because they didn't want to, or didn't have to, or didn't need to.
Yeah.
So it was kind of, we blended pretty well together.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. I do find that sometimes I'll get when I shave,
right?
Especially when I shave, I look a lot younger.
Yeah.
And I'll have people that I go network with when I go to conferences for a couple of days at a time. They'll like try and give me motherly advice or fatherly advice.
It's a natural thing. Plus, you have to have that kind of personality too. They have to know you'll be receptive to it. So
absolutely,
and that's important. And you come across like that, so that's good.
I try and be a sponge and take in as much information as I can,
including food. You eat everything.
This is right. This is true. I do act like a human disposal, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so last night, for those of you that don't know, we had dinner together.
He had his dinner, my grandson's dinner, my leftover dinner. He had 3 dinners. I had 1.
I had to hit my protein for the day, so it's important. You don't get big and strong.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. You got to get big like Mike. His grandson is a powerhouse lifter.
He is a powerhouse lifter.
Yeah.
That's how we met Coop. They went to both went to Norwich together.
That's right. Yeah. So he's out in California now, working for who's he working for?
It's a fitness center. It's a tier 1 fitness center.
Okay.
Sort of near their home. I think it's in Anaheim.
Okay.
Cool. It's actually just got the job. He just graduated from grad school. And they started there, I think, another week.
Is he working up a fitness plan for you?
He's given me a couple fitness plans.
Yeah, has he?
Yeah.
What kind of stuff? What kind of stuff do you have doing?
The usual. The usual. This is the local gym here I go to, so he went with me when he was out here. Kind of a few things to have more of a balanced routine than,
Are you doing back squats and bench press?
No. That was okay when I was 20.
Okay.
So now he has me doing a little more, just try to stuff to stay, improve balance, just general fitness. Mm-hmm. When I'm not walking my dog.
I was going to say, that adds some steps every day. That's good.
Yes, it does.
Right.
Should we have Lexi here in this?
Yeah.
Lex.
She's still scared of me a little bit. She's nervous of me.
She's a little nervous about the Coop.
I'm intimidating.
Because he's got a beard.
Is that what it is? She's nervous of beards?
She's a rescue dog, and she does get it.
Lex,
are you here? Lex.
She'll come around. It's all right. So, as somebody who's been through a longer portion of the real estate, 25 years worth of real estate experience, talking to somebody who's only been doing it for maybe a year, even though we're on different sides of real estate, right? You're an agent, right. I'm an investor.
Right.
What kind of advice, is there one thing that I should know that might help me develop as an investor, or even just an entrepreneur, businessman in general?
I think, relationships are important in every business, and relationships, really kind of learning from them. And I think try to have as many diverse relationships as possible, from all aspects of it. I mean, you're not a realtor, but, you can learn a lot from realtors, and they can learn a lot from investors.
Yeah.
There's no reason that the two can't mix and, combine for different occasions. Mm-hmm. But I think it just being open, you're young and smart, but you don't know everything. You know what I mean? And that's the problem. And I think, this conference you're going to, you're going to one in Vermont, then you're going to one in California, then you're going to one in Houston. I mean, that's a perfect opportunity to meet people,
right.
to network people there, and to just keep an open mind going to it and learn as much as possible. You said it on food. Be a sponge.
Right.
You know, and that's the best way to do it.
When I'm not in person networking, because I definitely don't have a problem networking in person.
Right.
When I'm not in person, is there anything that you've found that is helpful to continue to grow those relationships and network that maybe people at home that aren't going to conferences can do to grow their network?
You know, there's an expression in real estate, and there's in so many things. It says always be the source of the source.
Okay.
You know, so when you have people are so inundated with emails and texts and Zooms and meetings and things like that. So when you contact people and you talk to people, it's got to be for a reason, and it's got to mean something. You know, you got to be telling somebody something, informing somebody something. Just to chit chat about like nothing is meaningless. People will just stop opening your correspondence, be it mail, be it email, be it texts, be it whatever. It's got to be a reason. Oh, Coop sent me this, so you know, with little information on so and so, or just like what's happening, what's going on. Let people know what's going to happen in your neighborhood. Make it specific to that person, and I think make all correspondence relevant. Okay, not just for bullshit. You know,
so
like
to give information as opposed to just bridge
Hi,
the
how
gap.
are you? As the family.
Yeah,
Nobody cares. You know, nobody cares about that, and they don't have time for that right now. It's like, I mean, just look at how many emails you delete before you even open.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
there's a lot that I don't even open.
Right. That's what I mean. Yeah, before you open, you just delete. The first thing you do in the morning is delete 50 emails.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the thing. You want someone to say, oh, you know, I want to read that. I want to hear that. I want to read that text. I want to open his whatever, letter, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and the other thing that's funny that I found that people really appreciate, and I think it can be relevant to any of us, is handwriting, notes, letters. Nobody handwrites notes or letters anymore. Like I always like to, after meeting somebody, after selling a house, after like, you know, a good first time, I always like to write a hand note.
And send it to them, mail it to them.
Mail it, stamp, with a stamp, you know, 55-cent stamp. They're still 55 cents.
I
know
have
they're
no
forever
idea. I haven't bought one since basic training.
I was going to say that's an issue.
Yeah.
You know, but people love that. Hey, I got your letter. I got your note. Thank you very much. You know, just hey, thanks for spending the afternoon looking at homes with me. It was nice to meet you. I look forward to staying in touch. You know, simple things like that, I think make a big difference.
Maybe I'll have to start drawing a picture on the back of it too, so I'll put it on their fridge.
You got
remind.
You know, it's funny. People still like that, and I have it. I always like to send out calendars.
Yeah.
With, you know, I always thought baseball ones were good, like around here, Red Sox, because it's the longest season.
Right.
So, you know, it's hanging from their thing, you know. So things like that people see your face, your name, and again, that's a relevant thing that you've mailed to somebody.
I know an agent down in Alabama who does that with all of the SEC's schedule.
Perfect.
They've got that, and it's a refrigerator magnet.
No, it's there all the time. It's got his picture. You think about it.
Yeah.
You know.
What's the most creative way to reach out to people that you found maybe not you did, but another realtor did, that maybe went over the top in some way? Can you think of any?
I'm thinking about. I've had people trying to get a listing. Send food to a customer. You know, like hey,
like a fruit basket.
Yeah, well, it was actually a pastry bag. It wasn't fruit, but it was a pastry thing. I hear you might be mostly cookies from a store down there. I hear you're thinking of selling your house, blah blah blah. You know, I heard maybe you could come over. We could have a cookie and we could discuss it. You know, send it. You know, please call me at so and so. That was probably the most creative one that I've heard. Other than that, it's just pretty normal stuff. He got the listing.
He did. So it works. Food sells, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it was different.
Yeah.
It was different.
Yeah, it's a good way to stand out.
Yeah.
Show that you mean it.
Well, I've heard people do that with job applications. Send it put it on top of a pizza box. Send it to the human resources office. Yeah, here's my thing. I thought you might like something to eat while you're reading.
Yeah. I got to write that down. Well, I got it on video, so I'll go back.
You don't have to write it down anymore.
Yeah. Speaking of creativity or uniqueness, what is do you think the craziest or most unique thing you've either sold or helped somebody buy? Is there like a
houseboat?
Houseboat?
I sold a houseboat.
Does that count as
unexpected? And a trailer, two trailers and a houseboat.
So the boat was on one of the houses or on one of the trailers?
No, it was in a slip. Separate? The guy owned the slip too and the houseboat. He bought the houseboat, didn't want the slip, so we had to resell the slip. But he had the boat lifted up, and taken away. It was a beautiful houseboat.
Wow.
It was a real nice houseboat.
How big was it?
28 feet, I think. It was 28 or 29 foot. a one bedroom. He spent the summers here. It was like in a dock in Katana. It was kind of fun.
Was the houseboat listed? Like, or is that technically? It was listed on like
the paper. Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't like on the MLS though.
Yeah, I put it on there.
Really? That is quite unique.
Yeah.
I'll have to reach out to some more realtors and see if they can have anything that tops that. Because
down where you are, that probably happens, more often than not.
I bet.
Probably,
yeah. Was it an actual good looking, like in well shaped house?
So it was nice. The guy went to Annapolis.
Okay.
He retired from the Navy. Okay. After 30 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was living on this in the summer. And he had another home. I forget where his other home was. Somewhere in Pennsylvania. I forget where. And he just didn't want it anymore or wasn't able to keep it up anymore. So we sold it.
That's
and
awesome.
then I had to sell the dock itself. The slip afterwards. And actually, the boatyard bought the slip back. So
so that was easy. Then.
That was easy. Yeah.
You were representing the seller in that transaction or the buyer?
I was representing the seller of the boat.
Okay.
Of the boat.
All right.
And then and the slip.
And the slip.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, do you have anything else for me?
No, I think that's it.
That's good. We'll do another one.
We're off to about 10 minutes to the real estate tour, the Wednesday real estate tour.
All right. What are you touring today?
There's 8 homes. One of them is mine. One of them is my property. Every town probably has a tour 1 day a week of all the properties that come on the market that week. Give all the local realtors a chance to see them quickly and say, gee, this might be perfect for X or one of their clients. So we're looking forward to that. That's every Wednesday here in Falmouth.
Is there 1 or 2 specific properties that you think you're going to be most excited about? You have the inside scoop on what's coming up?
Yeah, there's 7 properties today. I think the most they do is 8 a week. There's 7 today, but I'm pretty familiar with all of them. Okay. So I actually won't be going because I'll be at my house waiting for the people to come to at my listing for it. So
are any of the houses that you've previously sold in the past like a resale? Because I know you said there's a couple houses out there.
I've
that
done
you've
a few
done
resales, but not today.
Okay.
Not the ones today.
All right, awesome. Well, keep me updated on what you have listing, and I can push it out to my network and see if we can get something sold together.
Good. Love the Coop.
Right,
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you. Cecil B. DeCoop.